So there's a lot of evolution happening here in the fintech space. There's been a lot of talk about new technologies, robo-advisory, wealth management, so on and so forth. And this, I think, is going to be the year when the big banks and the financial institutions are actually going to be putting these products into action. So you're going to see them in the hands of the consumers. Fintech startup scene has been in Singapore for a good number of years, right? There's been a lot of startups that started off in the space of just transferring money, right? Basically transferring money with overseas and, domestic help and stuff like that. So I've seen those startups pop up here. It's been, at least 10 years, different people tinkering around with them. And I think what's happened now with some of the advances that we've seen with IBM and AWS and Google, with allowing more technologies to be more readily available, there's a lot more sophisticated stuff coming to be. So I think the exciting part now in the fintech space is that there's a lot more intelligence coming into the realm. So and one of the things that we have a lot of focus on is wealth management and robo-advisory. And this is something that people are spending a lot more time, energy, and money, and then they're actually disrupting now, right? And you're seeing, high net worth individuals and the private bankers utilizing these tools. So it's not just the typical transfer of money. It's the knowledge share and the analytics and the artificial intelligence and machine learning, and putting all those pieces together to try to create value. Well, you just look at blockchain, blockchain as a technology, Bitcoin. I mean, that startled a lot of people, right? And I think, you look at how people are disrupting and looking at mobile and allowing people the unbanked, right? So if you ask two big things, mobile technology and being able to serve the unbanked, and high-end technologies like blockchain and the sophistication and the potential disruption that it can have on banks. More often than not, Singapore has a very powerful brand in terms of trust, right? And if you look at banking, the most important thing about banking and your relationship with your bank is trust. So I think Singapore has done a good job about that, and that's seen in terms of ease of setting up a company and all the regular stuff that you see. But I think the other thing is that the nature of Singapore and the people that are building businesses here and even the banks here, they're a lot more open to innovation and they're open to try things, right? And I think that might be just the nature of Singapore, being a trading hub, they're always getting involved and exposure to a lot of things. So there's a lot of stuff happening here. There's also a lot of money here, right? People know that it's a financial hub. And one of the reasons why Singapore has had such a big growth is because they've been open to new ideas and concepts. So if you look at their legislation and thought process in crowdfunding, for instance, they are very advanced relative to a lot of the other countries, maybe even the US. Corporates now in general have opened their eyes to startup, right? They understand that they can disrupt. You look at Uber and what it's done to the world of taxis, right? Completely disrupted it. And I think, in the fintech sector, you have these institutions that have opened up to it and understand it. But the real success is going to be in the institutions that actually work a tangible plan to adopt the technologies. So it's really nice to have fintech labs and accelerators and hackathons, and you see it all happening. But the ones that are going to win are the ones that can tangibly say, okay, we can take this, we have the right thought process, the right team, the right adopters within the organization to successfully get a pilot and eventually take it to the next level.